Hey guys, Ike here from Industrial Reviews. I'm here today to take a look at the Save Phace EFP welding helmet. You have to forgive the camouflage behind me. We still have this area set up for Ike's Outdoors. But I've been using this hood for about 6 months now, and you can see I've got just a standard shade. I think this is a number 12 shade for welding heavy steel in here now. But this is a Gen X hood, and it has a Gen X lens in it. So we're going to talk about this lens and this lens here as well. The first thing you'll notice about this hood is the cool look of it, and that's what really attracted me to it. Save Phace has some very cool looking hoods, and this is the skull, some kind of skull. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but they have a ton of these hoods. And they're always coming out with new ones, and they look cool. These are definitely gonna, when you walk in with a hood like this, you're definitely gonna turn some heads at the weld shop. So, but that's not the only advantage of this hood from looking cool. It also has a very aerodynamic shape, and you can see that this thing is actually made. Save Phace started out making boat helmets, so for those high-speed boats, and they made them aerodynamic, and they've crossed over to welding hoods. So the cool thing about this thing is, with that aerodynamic shape, the smoke and the fumes off of your welder really seem to, instead of coming up underneath like they did with my Jackson and my Miller, they really seem to hit the hood and part around it. So it is a noticeable difference in the fumes for me. When I weld with this hood versus my Jackson that I've got, I notice the fumes. I can start smelling them again. I can start tasting them again, and it is a huge difference in the fumes with this hood because of the aerodynamic shape. The other thing that the aerodynamic shape helps with is because instead of presenting a big square, when you really need to get into a tight situation, it helps you. It enables you to get into a tight situation really well. I love the lens. It has 180 degrees of view, and which is really nice, so you can not only see what you're welding, you can also see the material as it goes. You can see around you, you can see if someone's standing next to you, things like that. So it's really nice. One of the places I welded, we got a big bay door that was up there, and trucks were crossing it all the time to go to our receiving dock. And as I was welding, I could see trucks out of the corner of my eye going across the front of that door. So very, very cool to have that 180 degrees. Really opens up your field of view and helps you to see the material real well. So I really like that aspect of it as well. And like I said, this has just a number 12 shade, just a normal lens in it. It also comes with the Gen X. Has got a auto shade lens in it. The Gen X has just a fixed lens, a number 10 that comes with it, and it works out really well. Because you have your flash hood or flash lens here, your flash filter there, and you also have a standard number 10 lens on the side, so you can still see. You still get that 180 degree of view when you strike your arc. Very good, very durable lens. I've been pretty happy with the outer lens, and the flash lens actually is not in this one. I've got it being returned to Save Phace. And the reason for that is it stopped working after about 6 months. It just stopped. And I will say I had a backup lens, so it's no big deal for me. But dealing with Save Phace was pretty easy. I was able to call them. I sent them an email and didn't get any response. So I called them a couple times, and I finally got a response from them on about the second call. And the guy was very apologetic for missing my calls, and promptly, you know, I told him, I said, hey, I'm without a hood right now. Of course, I've got a Jackson, but I'm without a flash hood, and I'm TIG welding right now, so the flash hood definitely comes in handy on the light gauge stuff that I'm welding right now. So I told him about all that, and I got an email from him immediately after we talked to him on the phone saying, we have a replacement for you. It's going out in the mail tomorrow. And the next day I got an email saying, hey, your lens has gone out. Here's your invoice for the lens. You're going to get the lens. You're also going to get a return package to send your old lens back so we can figure out what's wrong with it, and a tracking number so I could keep track of where my lens was. So the lens did go out, but I got very, very good customer service from Save Phace. Very, very happy with the customer service overall. Now, on the hood itself, I love this hood. I mean, this is one of the best hoods that I've ever owned. I do have one complaint about it, and it's the headgear. The headgear is very comfortable. I will give it that. The knob on the back is your standard just push type of knob that adjusts there. It has the adjustment up on top for crown height, and very much like that. It has a nice stop on it, so you can position it in different ways. It also has inside here, I don't know if you can see, but you can position this hood closer to your face and farther away from your face. So I like that adjustment as well. One thing I don't like or have had trouble with is the knobs on the side. You know as well as I do, when you're welding a lot, you're up and down, up and down, up and down, and I'm constantly having to jack with those things to keep them at the tension that I want. Whereas with my old Jackson, my old Miller, boy, once you set them, you just that was it. You know, you started flipping your head up and down, and they stayed where they were. So with this one, I have a little bit of trouble keeping the right tension on the nuts on the side to keep my headgear where I want it. So other than that, I've had absolutely, that's about my only complaint with this hood. And this hood is ANSI approved and is also CE approved. So you've got a nice, you've got an approved Z87 lens in here, CE number 12. So you've got all the, you can walk into any shop and weld with this if they have any regulations about what kind of hood you can have. And some of the hoods out there, some of the really cheap hoods, you got to watch them because they're not certified to the right standards to be welding with. So I'm going to check here and just make sure. They've got a lot of different welding hoods. You know, they got the elementary series, got the old school series, Gen X, which is what this is. They got the Gen Y. The Gen Y has an adjustable, a variable lens filter in it, so you can adjust your darkness on there. And the cool thing about these is these aren't too expensive for a welding hood. I think I paid a little over $100 for this one, 125, somewhere around there. And don't quote me because it's been 6 months, and I also bought this extra lens. So the price on these is not too bad, especially considering the fact that my hood before this was a Miller. And the Miller I had, of course, I got 6 years of use out of that hood before it finally just gave up on me and died. But my Miller was $300. So in price comparison to the Miller, this is a pretty good steal, pretty good buy as far as price goes, and you're getting a pretty good quality hood. My favorite aspect of it is the ability for it, the aerodynamic of it, and it looks cool. I really like the way it looks. It looks awesome. But the aerodynamic capabilities of it, aerodynamic shape of it, really cuts those fumes and really does make a big difference in the amount of fumes you're pulling into your lungs. So you know, as a welder, you're cutting a lot of lifespan off by sucking in those fumes, and there's not much you're going to do to reduce them directly at the source without a back gun or some kind of fume system, exhaust system right there at the source. So this does help with that a little bit and cut that down even more. So I really like that aspect of it. You can check out these hoods and all the other stuff that Save Phace makes at savephace.com, and it's spelled Save, P-H-A-C-E. So you can check that out at savephace.com. Cool hood. Like I said, did have a little bit of trouble with the knobs on the side, keeping tension on it, proper tension on it. Did have some trouble with my filter, my auto shade filter, but got really good customer service out of them, so I'm pretty happy with that, even though I had a failure. Pretty good customer service, which is key in my game, or key in welding, because you're going to have stuff that's going to not hold up to the punishment you're putting it through. And the important thing is if something fails, is to get it replaced quickly and get it replaced without hassle. So that is the Save Phace hood. You can check them out at savephace.com. We'll put the web address right here. And they got some really cool looking hoods other than this skull hood. So be sure to check them out. Really cool product, and it's overall, for the money that I paid for them, I'm really, really happy with this product. I appreciate you guys watching.